All right, then, let's just get to it. This is the Techpedition Podcast for Monday Night Football, Monday, September 17th, 2018.
Oh, football, man, football.
Yeah. It's just the Seahawks and the Bears, so it's not anything special.
Yeah, no. Although their game last week was freaking excellent between the Bears and the Packers.
Yeah. The Danielson,
he's a bad man.
Aaron Rodgers. So my name's Kerry, if you're joining us for the first time, and I'm joined by my brother. His name is Clarence. How are you, sir?
I'm doing quite well, man. It's been a while, but good to be back on for another Techpedition podcast.
Yeah, it has been a while. It's been kind of a slow month for news in general for the things we talk about, but we shall persevere.
Oh yeah.
You know, I just looked at myself in the camera and I noticed that it's showing my Star Wars like
Rose.
my my wife saw that picture and she's got like bullets like strapped to her arm, and my wife was like, "She a killer or something? Like, who is she?"
Hey, Kelly Marie Tran is awesome, but that movie is not. Oh,
I like
won't
it.
do it.
Sue me.
It's fine.
Is it the best Star Wars ever? No, but it's fun. I like it.
So I have to ask you, since Solo, a Star Wars story, is in digital, are you finally going to watch it, or are you just adamant on not consuming?
Dude, my movie consumption has gone down severely. Like I still haven't seen Infinity War, and it's on video.
What?
So like I'm probably gonna buy that in the next week, and I'll buy Solo too.
Wow.
I mean, I at least need to watch it so I can have more ammunition to bag on it. But
it's actually not that bad, man. You should check it out.
I kid. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it. You know, especially after seeing Darth Maul on Star Wars Rebels. Like, I'm really looking forward to seeing him, and his character's like 100 times more interesting on there.
Yeah, I've yet to watch Rebels. I have to watch it. Are you interested in the new cell shaded-esque? What is the name of it? The new Star Wars
Resistance.
Cartoon? Yeah, Resistance.
I mean, I'll watch it. I'm not like super hype train for it, but I mean, the way they've kind of framed it, like I was hoping that we would get to see more of Ezra and Sabine, two people from Rebels, but it doesn't look like they're going to be on there. I also have this hope that they'll show up at some point in a trilogy or in the movies or something, but who knows? Who knows what's going to happen?
Oh yeah.
Cool. So let's jump into some tech stuff.
Should we talk about possibly the top news item from the past week? The Apple event?
Top news item? Oh, yeah, the Apple event.
I mean, most of the stuff that got announced, we've pretty much already talked about. It all got spoiled well in advance. But did you see anything that really just jumped out you as being awesome and the best thing ever, as Apple puts it?
I mean, it was just derivative. I mean, like, I don't want this to sound negative, but it's like, if you have an iPhone or an Apple Watch from the last year, like I do, there's not really a whole lot to get excited about. Like, if you have like an iPhone 6 or a 7 and you've been waiting,
it's time
or an 8 and you've been waiting to upgrade, like this is definitely the time to do it. But some of the stuff they showed was really cool. Like did you see the Steve Nash thing? Did we talk about that?
Steve Nash thing.
So yeah, Steve Nash was at the Apple event.
I didn't watch it. Yeah.
But basically they have this tracking app where you can pretty much put it on a tripod and shoot baskets, and it can like not only tell you how many you made and missed, but it can also tell you like where you shot them from. And like, I thought that was really cool. It's not something I would want to like upgrade my phone for, but I thought that was really cool. But other than that, I mean, it's just the same old, more processing power, which doesn't really matter at this point on the phone. The Apple Watch thing where it can do your EKG was pretty cool. But again, Like if you have Apple Watch Series 2 or Series 1 and you've been waiting to upgrade, like now's the time to upgrade. But if you have a 3, there's really no reason. I mean, it's not worth paying $400 for another watch just to tell if you're having a heart attack or not.
So just to run down the news real quick. Again, as we mentioned up top, 3 new iPhones. You have the iPhone XS, and you have the XS Max. They're just asking for it here. And you have the iPhone XR. The XS and the XS Max being an upgrade to last year's phone, as well as the Max being a much bigger, more in the range of the 6 Plus size, bigger iPhone 10 from last year, with upgraded spec bumps in all of them, as well as better cameras. So, as well as you're going to get, I think they call it Super Retina now. They call it screen Super Retina. Go figure. Apple and these coining these phrases, they always do it. But also, they are going to have a cheaper one, which I think is $799. I'll pull up the price, but it is, more in the vein of a cheaper phone in the style of the iPhone 10. I think the
aluminum back instead of the ceramic and
the LCD screen. So,
yeah.
So they made compromises there to keep the phone in the same style as the 10, but also, a little bit cheaper, a little more affordable, because the other phones are right at $1,000, and I think $1,099 for the XS Max. So a wide cavalcade of options for the Apple fanboy.
Even with the XR, I mean, I'm going to hop on Swapper real quick, because you can probably find an iPhone 10 for less than $749, and you will not only have the ceramic back, which is neither here nor there, but the thing that really matters to me would be the screen.
Yeah.
The OLED screen on the iPhone, like that's the 10 is the first iPhone to have an OLED screen. And seriously,
yeah,
like, you have the notch at the top, right? Like when this is black, you can't tell that there's a notch there.
Yeah.
So I feel like on the LCD, you will definitely be able to tell when the screen's black at the top.
Yeah, I agree.
That's kind of nitpicky, but if it was me, I would definitely hop on Swap or something and see if I could find a 10 instead of buying an XR, just because that OLED screen is worth it. Okay, so the iPhone 10 on Swap, a good one, is about $675, $700. I would rather, if it was me, especially since it's the same inners, it's just the cheaper model compared to the new phones, but it's the same inners as a 10. You might as well just get a used 10 if you can find one in good condition.
Yeah, but one of the things they did tout that I thought was really cool is that the XR is going to have the same camera as the XS, albeit just one of them. It doesn't have two like the X.
Oh, it doesn't have the two cameras.
It doesn't have two, but it has one that's, the same pixel quality as you have on the more expensive phones. And as well as, I think I forgot what they call the front part of it. I don't know what it's called. The Face ID sensor.
Oh, Face ID.
Yeah. I know they have some phrase for it, but I can't remember what it is. But
just put a dang fingerprint sensor on the back of your phone, Apple. I know you want to have the one panel and look all sleekish, but
well, again, that
Face ID isn't that bad, but it's just I'd rather have a fingerprint scanner.
Well, I think they did tout Face ID being a bit more faster. So they're making upgrades. Which is awesome. And this is the first lineup of iPhones where none of them have headphone jacks. They discontinued all of their other models that have jacks. So, yeah.
That's fair enough. I mean, at this point, most people have Bluetooth headphones, so I don't think it's as big a deal. I don't think it's as big of a deal as it was a year and a half ago.
It's changing.
Just because if you can pay $700 or $1,000 for a phone, you can spend $50 and get some Bluetooth headphones. I mean,
yeah. Added to that, they have stopped including the 3.5 jack dongle in the case.
Oh, now that sucks.
Yeah. So the AirPods are just straight Lightning now. So that's the difference.
Yeah, that's definitely a difference.
And then
I think it's hilarious that the budget phone is $750. It's so funny.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah. But, you mentioned the heart rate monitor, EKG monitoring with the digital crown on the Apple Watch, which, some people will tout that as being awesome and good, which, you can't complain too much about that. And I don't know. I think the Apple Watch has a bigger screen.
Yeah, it's edge to edge now.
Slightly
which
larger
is nice.
screen. So they are slowly, as Apple often does, slowly iterates on their products to make them a little bit better. And, I think the fanboys will be pretty happy with what we got.
Yeah. But again, the other thing that I'm not as gung-ho about upgrading is that one of the cool things they showed about the new Apple Watch was the Faces thing, which will actually be in the next version of the software. So I will actually probably be able to get that. I feel like 80% of the stuff I'll be able to get when they release new OS updates. So I'm not that upset.
No, I mean, I understand, man. So, I mean, I don't think it's going to sway me into getting an Apple iPhone or an Apple product, but it's always cool to see them push and innovate and push the market to the next level, as Apple does. Yes, they do.
It's funny because I was like looking earlier and I saw where I think is it Xiaomi or however you say their name. They have a watch that's like $150 and it looks really nice. They haven't brought it to America yet. The Amazfit, the Xiaomi Amazfit. It's $159 and I mean it looks pretty freaking slick. If you're just in the market for a smartwatch, I mean it's definitely for $159. If I didn't have one, I would be totally down for that. So, I just say, if you do want a smartphone, don't feel like you just have to get an Apple Watch, because a lot of companies are coming out with much more affordable watches that can do probably 80, 60, 70% of the stuff. So, just keep your ear to the ground. You may be able to find something cool for not 400 something, whatever it costs.
So you mentioned the fingerprint reader a minute ago. Did I drop this story you? But anyway,
I remember you mentioning it like once before, showing. I think you said they had a POC of it, but I don't remember it actually being in a product.
Yeah. So we have a story here about the in-screen fingerprint sensor from OnePlus, the 6T, which, do you think Apple will ever do that, or are they just giving up on the fingerprint reader completely and just going with the Face ID from here on out? Are they spending R&D just on the Face ID and just forget completely about the fingerprint reader thing?
I think they put so much money in Face ID, they're just gonna roll with it. Now, don't get me wrong, probably about 5 years after every other phone's adopted this, they may try to bring it back as some great innovative thing like they tend to do. But
yeah, you're right.
I don't see them adopting it in the short term.
So, yeah, I mean, I mentioned the in-screen fingerprint sensor. So OnePlus, again, the 6T, will feature an in-display fingerprint reader. The company confirmed on CNET. This will make it the first OnePlus phone with the technology. Now, I'm going to post a link to a video of MKBHD and some of the videos he has. He's actually had one of these, and it's a pretty interesting video because he puts the phone through the ringer and the fingerprint reader still works pretty flawlessly, which is quite surprising. So, I mean, it's always good to see them push that technology a little bit forward and see what they can do with that, because I don't know, maybe in 5 years we'll say it's not needed because Face ID is so good. And of course, every phone manufacturer out there right now is trying to have the notch and copy Apple in every way possible. So maybe it won't be needed. I don't know. We'll look back with, and say, what were we thinking?
Yeah, probably. So, I guess, I'll hit on some. Oh yeah, I guess we can stay on phones for now. So apparently, I don't know if you remember a couple of years back, the Galaxy Note 7, I think it was. It was infamous for exploding in people's pockets, and one exploded on a plane, and they had to land the plane, and
that was an epidemic, man. That was a freaking epidemic.
Samsung discontinued the line for like a year because it was so bad. And they finally brought it back with the 9, and Lo and behold, apparently some woman's Galaxy 9 phone caught fire in her purse.
Oh God, not this again.
Okay, so let's see. She filed a lawsuit against Samsung. So the lawsuit states, I'm reading from Mashable, of all places, but the lawsuit states that Chung was using her phone earlier this month in an elevator when it suddenly became extremely hot. Chung had placed the phone in her purse when she heard a whistling and screeching sound and she noticed thick smoke. The suit states that she burnt her fingers attempting to pick the phone up. The fire coming from the mobile device continued until a bystander picked the phone up with a cloth and dunked it into a bucket of water.
Wow. Okay. We have to, I mean, like what 2 years ago with the Note, we just have to realize batteries are prone to, if they're bent or pushed in a wrong way, they could explode. And lithium ion batteries are dangerous. And this is an isolated incident. So I think I haven't heard any more things come out. So it's not the epidemic it was before. It's certainly not the epidemic it was before. Is it good for Samsung? No, because you don't really hear about iPhones exploding. I think they did have a few back, but not recently.
Well, I remember them having phones that were bulging. The battery bulge. I remember that. I don't remember them exploding, but it's like the Note 9 hasn't been out for very long. So that's what kind of gives me pause. But with these huge phones and even huger batteries, I mean, this is just kind of the risk you run. So I don't know. It's just horrible PR, if nothing else, for Samsung.
Agreed. Totally agreed, man. Yeah, not good.
I always got to break things down. On a lighter note, perhaps, this weekend was the Call of Duty Black Ops 4 Blackout beta. And if you're asking what is Blackout, Blackout is basically Activision Treyarch Black Ops' version of Battle Royale. So it's, the PUBG clone. Now, I have to say that when this was announced a couple months ago or half a year ago, however long it was, I went into this big tirade about how, like, we don't need any more Battle Royale games and that this was totally pointless. And I thought that it was just stupid. But I have to say, after playing Blackout this weekend, rest in peace, PUBG. That's all I have to say.
Well, I have not played.
Rest in peace.
But I think you probably hit on what I'm about to say is that, while PUBG had the formula that people love and have latched on to, I mean, even with the emergence of how Fortnite just came and took over, it lets you know that polish goes a long way.
Yes.
That basic formula with a crap ton of polish.
And I mean, I feel like PUBG's or the PUBG company, Bluehole, whatever, I feel like they've kind of shot themselves in the foot because that game's been out forever. Like it's been out at least 2 or 3 years in early access. I think it just went 1.0 like within the last week or two. Maybe that was kind of a punch to Blackout, but it still runs like crap. Like it's still a horrible buggy mess. Now don't get me wrong, it has improved significantly, but I popped into this Blackout beta and it's like this is what happens when a AAA developer gets a hold of a great idea and a great gameplay mechanic, because I mean it was smooth as butter in the words of Steve Jobs, and it was beautiful. I mean, the art direction was great. Like, the other problem I have with PUBG is they basically took assets off the, the Unreal Engine marketplace. They just bought like stock assets from there, and they're using those in their game. Whereas you have like it's realistic, but it also has kind of an artistic flair. So like when you're down, like you crouch down in the grass, like there's actual blades of grass and not not just a patch of grass here and a patch of grass. Like there's actual blades of grass, and I mean it runs amazing. Even on the consoles, it runs great. From what I've read, but on the PC, man, it purrs. Oh my God, it purrs. And The shooting is solid. Like in PUBG when I'm shooting something, and I'm not like a horrible. I mostly play FPSs, so like I know how to aim and shoot. In PUBG, I always feel like I'm rolling dice when I shoot at something because you never really know if you're going to hit what you're trying to hit. Whereas on this game, I start shooting at somebody and I see that signature Call of Duty X that lets me know that I'm nailing them.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun. Like half the time I was still getting mollywopped like I do in PUBG, but it was a lot more beautiful. It ran a lot better. And like this is probably going to be the first Call of Duty game I've purchased in like 10 years. I'm really thinking like really, really hard about whether or not I'm going to buy this game. So that should tell you how I feel about Blackout in a nutshell.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, I was going to try to make the comparison of somebody starting the people who started Snapchat from scratch and built this app that was pretty cool with all these cool new bells and whistles. But then you had Facebook, who has Instagram, who's been doing it a long time and really good at it, and they just grab those features and throw it in, and lo and behold, people leaving Snapchat.
Rip Snapchat.
That's kind of how I feel. Even with Fortnite, that's how I kind of feel about it. You have people who are excellent at shooters, have been doing shooters forever, and they are jumping on and taking this formula again that's proven and just adding it to their mix. Now, is it going to work all the time? Obviously not. But I mean, like to what you just said, it seems like if they can tweak it in such a way, and maybe even with some different game modes, don't they have zombies in this as well?
Yeah, they're zombies.
Yeah, so
and like that's the thing is that it doesn't feel like a Call of Duty version of PUBG. It feels like a PUBG version of Call of Duty. Does that make sense? Like it feels like Call of Duty. Like it doesn't feel like PUBG, even though you're battle royale, you skydive in and all that stuff. But the whole time, like I felt like I was in a AAA shooter.
Oh, wow.
And I don't know. It's really hard to explain. Hopefully they'll release another demo or another beta or something so people can check it out. But I'm telling you, like I would buy this game just for the Blackout mode. And that's the other thing. That isn't the game. Like that's just an add-on. There's an actually a full single player campaign. I'm assuming. And, of course, the fast-paced multiplayer that Call of Duty's been known for decades now. Yeah. So it's a huge value add. I mean, it's basically a bonus. And this is kind of an afterthought in their game that they were already building, and it's much better than what PUBG's been solely focusing on for like 2 or 3 years. So I just think it's really, really cool. And I am happy to admit when I am wrong. But in this case, I was completely wrong. It is amazing. Okay, so I want to correct myself on one thing. Black Ops 4 is just multiplayer. So,
do you think it'd be more affordable?
That's interesting. I'm sure it's still going to be $60, but I'm surprised that there's no campaign. That's interesting. But it's multiplayer zombies in Blackout, so not so much for the argument I was having earlier, but still, You are getting more than just a battle royale mode. If you don't like battle royale, you just play regular multiplayer, I guess.
Anyway, what do we have next?
Yeah, Microsoft backpedaled on their whole warning about Chrome and Firefox, which I'm surprised that people are just reporting on this because it's been that way for like a while now. But looks like they're backpedaling that.
So I've never seen this message myself. But my only issue is, where does the message occur? Does it occur when you go to Chrome and attempt to go to Edge and attempt to download Chrome or Firefox? If that's the case, it's par for the course because everybody does it. Now, if it's doing it at the operating system level, it's totally different.
Now see, it looks like this is OS level. I haven't seen an OS level alert. What I have seen is like when you open Edge and you search for Chrome, like there's usually these huge messages that are like, you already have Edge, why do you want Chrome or something like that. So but this looks like it's an OS level alert. So they were going to get sued for that. So
eek,
get a move by them.
Oh, Microsoft. You never disappoint. Or should you always disappoint is what I should say.
Always. So yeah. Did you want to talk about any of these other stories or?
I'm looking. Nintendo had their Nintendo Direct recently where they announced a bunch of games. Final Fantasy 7, 9, 10, and 10-2 HD remasters as well as 12 are coming in 2019. So, something.
And they're coming to Xbox.
Oh, yeah. I read that somewhere as well. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Pretty freaking awesome. Oh, yeah, they announced a lot of games. FIFA 19, Starlink, Battle for Atlas, Diablo 3, Mega Man 11, Katamari.
Oh, dude, there's a demo for Mega Man 11. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's like old school Mega Man, but like in HD with like the 2.5D. It looks so great, and it's fluid. There's a demo for it.
It's a new game, legitimately.
Yeah.
New? Oh,
yeah,
wow.
It's a legit new game. But there's a demo for it. I don't know if it's on PC, but I know on the Xbox and PlayStation there's a demo. So you should definitely check that out.
Pretty freaking cool. New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe coming in January. Yoshi's Crafted World, and I thought there was like a Luigi. Yeah, Luigi's Mansion 3.
Mansion. Yeah.
So there you go. For you Nintendo fans.
Yep. When is Nintendo going to do something new?
It is not much else going on. Well.
Cool. Yeah, well, I guess that's it. I guess we'll go play some Rocket League or something.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys maybe in a week or so. And do you have any shout-outs or announcements, sir?
Well, if you made it this far in the podcast, check out our Star Trek podcast, which can be found at discussingtrek.com if you're into that type of stuff. What about yourself, man? Got anything?
Not a thing. But just happy to be back, and hopefully we'll see you guys next week.
All right, guys.
Peace out.
Very, very quick. Techpedition. Very, very quick. Techpedition. Very, very quick. Techpedition. Very, very quick. Techpedition.
I can't beat that. I just smells burnt and dusty.
Hey guys, don't miss an episode of the Techpedition Podcast. For more information, go to techpedition.com/subscribe. TECHPEDITION.com.